Kanpai!
Kanpai.
Welcome, one and all, to episode 129 of Kanpai Cast. With today, myself, Xeno, and Nasuth are going to be discussing why slice of life is a fundamentally important narrative device in anime. Before we start into the topic,
he says.
It is. Nasuth's wrong.
So, before we begin, just a little bit of housekeeping, and to quiet that argument before we go anywhere. So, just
that's the whole episode. It's just us arguing. That's the plan.
Yes. Well, it's going to be fun. So, before we get into the arguments, if you guys out there would like and comment and subscribe, all the YouTube little bit larky bits, because we absolutely want and need your support. And if you want, there's all the links in the description below where you can go to visit the Discord servers, Xeno's server, and watch Nasuth and Xeno stream on both Twitch and YouTube. We'll also have links to the memes that are the best part of the show, bar none, especially when they're your viewer memes.
If you haven't watched this week's news, go back and watch this week's news, It'll
all be linked down there. And just to help you out, there will be timestamps below so that you can get to any relevant bit you think might be funny. So,
It'll all
don't
be
think there's anything more to do. Next week, we're going to be doing the full season review, so stay tuned for that. And between now and then, there will be the next news cycle as well. So, we'll see you on those too.
There are a number of shows that have actually concluded already. Yes. However,
there were so many that got a late start.
Not just that, some of them actually have 13 episodes and things like that.
Yes.
Not to go into detail, but gushing over Magical Girls, I thought that the 12th episode was the last one. It's not. There's a 13th episode on the way.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, that's it? That's the ending? What the fuck was that? And I'm like, no, it's not the ending. So, yeah, there's still
be another
stragglers.
Episode of Undead Unluck to come then.
You should check.
Remember that. Definitely should check.
Anyway.
So, our topic of the day. This is one that Xeno thought would be absolutely ideal for us. And as Nasuth's put it, hang on, that bread knife is way too small to slice this life.
What? When did
I always come up with weird subtitles. Okay, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
These are for us. These are for us to laugh at.
Right.
Okay. Fine,
Absolutely.
So
lead us off.
Here's something that I find really important that I do not believe Nasuth agrees with at all. Right? To me, slice of life really changes the realm of fiction from stupid hijinks in armored suits, fighting space demigods to prevent the world from imploding when a purple grape man turns up and tries to cease things from existence. When we have chill scenes that someone forgot the oven, they left it on, or they forgot to lock the door, or they're just going through their mail, things like that. The whole premise of this stems from the ilk of Tarantino movies. Quentin Tarantino loves to put slice of life elements in his movies, either really thick or a moderate amount on. I don't think there's any maybe Reservoir Dogs, and that's it, right? And I am a huge proponent for slice of life, not only as a genre, but should just be in shows in general, whereas Nasuth is the anti-slice of life. He's the anti-slice of life equation.
Not entirely, but when
and he thinks that slice of life just shouldn't exist.
When that's all there is, it's like this. I'm looking at a definition right now, and it says it often lacks coherent plot, conflict, or ending. So if that's all there is to it, if the entire show is just about that, I don't want to watch it.
Right. Okay. Okay. So here comes. So here I did some research and I got like pros and cons. Right. So what do you want first, the cons or the pros?
Cons. Get the bad news out of the way.
Right. So the cons.
We're taking
right?
this plane to Disneyland. Show us the cons.
Right. So we got lack of plot. Hold on. Are we still on big camera? I can't actually tell because Nasuth.
Oh no, we're not. Sorry, we're not. Do we want to go to small?
Yeah, but it's small.
Right.
Giant goober.
Sorry.
Right, I'm actually gonna turn that on as well. So I'm actually putting on the slice of life genre as well. But anyway, so cons, right? So lack of plot. Critics argue that the genre's focus on everyday life often results in a lack of compelling plot and clear direction, making some series feel aimless and boring to those who prefer a more plot-driven story, right? Pacing issues. While the slow pace is a selling point for many, others find it too sluggish, leading to disinterest and frustration, especially for viewers accustomed to fast-paced narrative. Like this, again, feels like this is totally describing Nasuth, right? I mean, I hope you don't feel offended me saying that, but... Right, niche appeal. The very elements that make slice of life anime relatable and enjoyable to its fans can also limit its appeal to a broader audience. Those not interested in the minutiae of daily life may find the genre unengaging. Right? Again.
Yeah, I've already got to deal with that in my regular life. Why do I want to watch that?
Right. Repetitiveness. Right. Some critics point out the same genre is prone to... is repetitive... so it's prone to repetition, with similar settings like high school, themes, and character archetypes appearing across multiple series. Well, I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but...
Yeah, I was going to make that point.
That one's like an unfair criticism to me. I mean, I may not identify with those particular tropes, but there are other ones that are essentially fill the same role in other genres that I do. I'm fine with. So
Yeah. And then idealization. Right. While aiming for realism, some slice of life anime can overly idealize or romanticize everyday life, leading to unrealistic expectations or dissatisfaction with the mundane nature of real life. Right?
Yeah.
So those are the cons as listed, and here are the pros. Right. So, relatability and realism. Many viewers appreciate the genre's focus on real-life situations, which often mirror their own experiences. This relatability helps in creating a strong emotional connection with the characters and the story. Right?
When there is a story.
Are you going to do this for all the pros?
No.
Okay. Character development. Slice of life.
When there
slice
is
of life.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Slice of life anime usually places a strong emphasis on character growth over time. The lack of an overarching plot allows more detailed exploration of characters' personalities, relationships, and personal journeys. Yeah? I'm feeling Nasuth is muting himself to break. Okay, cool.
I think it just didn't come through.
As far as the factual...
Okay, right.
As far as the factual description goes, that's quite accurate.
Again, when it happens, but we're not going to... I'm trying not to do that.
Well, I mean, you know what? We'll come back to character development, because I think there is an argument potentially there. Relaxing pace. The genre's typically slower, more leisurely pacing is a welcome respite for viewers looking to unwind. The absence of high-stakes drama or action-packed sequences make it ideal for relaxation and de-stressing. Right? Critical insight. For international audiences, slice of life anime offers a window into the everyday life and culture of Japan, from school festivals and seasonal traditions to daily routines and food culture, right? Especially the food culture.
That is honestly fair enough.
Yep. And then themes of friendship and family. These anime often explore themes of love, friendship, family, and the simple joys of life, promoting positive messages and a feel-good experience for viewers. All right.
So, I assume that your point is that these tropes exist in other anime that may
100%.
not traditionally be considered slice of life.
100%. And
okay, I have no problem
argue
because that's just character development in places.
Was that you have a problem with that, or you don't?
No,
I
have no problem with that. No problem with that.
This is the thing that I would point out, Nasuth. Many of the cases where there is a more action-oriented show, the thing that actually suffers by and large is the character development, because often the focus is more on the character being who they are in the first place, and that's their determination to stay that kind of person is what drives them through
especially
the
more
shonen
shows for sure, because
yeah,
characters are often
so
very simple and straightforward, and there's not much depth to them because it's aimed at a younger audience. And, you know,
well, there's not much depth. It's that they have a simple goal. Whether they achieve it in a complicated way, whether they're smart, whether they're not. The idea is that them being who they are is, and being committed to their way, their specific method, their goal is what actually drives them through in an exciting way in the action scenes, because it's how will they apply their own value to this situation, not how does this situation affect their values.
Which is why shonen is fun, but the best shonen have character development along in there, in there with it.
Yes, that's correct.
I mean, one of the biggest, more recent Shonen Jump shows that I think has excellent character development, not just from a standpoint of oh shit's going down, but also the mundane elements of life, is Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Yeah. So one of my favorite narrative points in season 1 is when Itadori is rushing up to Gojo, and I can't remember the name of the girl, to just point out that he's like, they're like melting on a bench and things like this. It's like, quick, we've got to rush because Megumi is being hit on by a woman, right? And they just fucking leg it to the situation just to cause shit, just to shit stir, just to be brats about it, yes, right?
Exactly.
Or in the middle of the fight with Gojo, where he's just like, or not Gojo. Is it Gojo? Yeah. Where he's just like, what is your favorite, your type of woman? And it's like, what kind of question is that out of the middle of nowhere?
That's not Gojo.
No, it's not Gojo.
Yes.
Tojo. I think I want to say Tojo.
Yeah, whoever it is. Yeah.
Toji or something like that.
It's like that's just an amazing out of left field kind of like, and here's some just kind of cuteness for no reason.
Yeah. Yes. And it really
solidly over our love of big asses. Therefore,
it gives
you
you so much information about the character in just that one little moment.
Can I just point out, right? So my phone pinged again, right? I set it on Do Not Disturb, and it's still fucking go. I swear, Android fucked up something. I swear. Anyway, sorry, that's a random rant. But to me, like, what really helps make a show amazing is this sprinkling of the seasoning, right, of slice of life. And you can either put on a a small amount or a large amount, right? I don't think there should be none, and I don't think it should be all slice of life. Because if we take another look at an amazing Shonen Jump series, we've got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, right? And
Which has very
unless
little.
someone's... Well, I mean, I can't think of any slice of life elements to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because everything
feel
they
like
do...
You're equating slice of life with character development. Like you're just using the word interchangeably with character development.
Right, but
And I'm
okay,
not
fine.
sure that's
But
fair.
even so,
I'll agree with Nasuth on this one. I think that many of the situations you pointed out aren't just... They are elements that are included with slice of life, but I think that these are just exposition and character growth through or world building of the characters.
Right,
you
say
make really
this.
good characters.
You say this, right?
Because that was just
but
one element.
I would
of slice of life.
argue, shush you, right? I'd argue that Polnareff in Stardust Crusaders gets a lot of character development, but none of it focuses on the slice of life elements to what he's going through, right? You know, he gets over the whole traumatic experience of what happened to his sister. He is still, championing the crusade to go hunt down Dio, right? He is getting over the death of Avdol and then getting over the revival of Avdol. He goes through a lot. Even Kakyoin, right?
But I wouldn't say that
Right.
really changes his character any. His character pretty much stays constant the whole way through.
This is why, rather than character growth, it's more character development. If you see the difference in those two terms.
What's the difference between those two
It's
terms?
not that
You're
they're
gonna have to
just
explain it for
adding more
everyone.
things onto the list of his accomplishments. You know,
Yes.
that he needs to actually show some kind of change because of it. Like he's learned something and not just like, oh, a thing happened. Well, let me just go back to being how I was before. Or, you know, exactly the same way I was.
Yes.
Okay,
I now
then,
incorporate this into me. It's now part of me, but I am still unchanged. I am the tree that just has a new branch compared to I am, fundamentally a different shape now because of what's happened.
okay, can you present to me, right, a character that goes through a development, I think is the one that you're after, that doesn't show slice of life elements?
Made in Abyss?
Yeah.
How does
mean,
Made in Abyss not have...
It does
Made in
have
Abyss is-
slice of life elements, but there are also character development, character growth moments
Yes.
that have nothing to do with the slice of life. Everything in the third movie,
Dawn,
was that Wandering Twilight or was that Dawn of the Deep Soul? I think it was Dawn of the Deep Soul.
No, Deep Soul. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the one I didn't turn on. Yeah.
Like all of that stuff in that one barely has any slice of life elements to it. There's some in the very beginning with Prushka, but the bulk of it comes later on and is accompanied by a lot of action and very little slice of lifey slow moments.
Yes. I think
Right, but-
the difference between the basic character growth versus character development is that character growth where they simply X thing happens and it has happened to them. You can't know that, but they don't actually. This is the same kind of thing where you get, say, Naruto. He never changes his view on anything. Okay, but he just incorporates what's happened to him into what he's going to do going forwards. Like, I now have this ability to do X because I went through this training.
I kind of want to
to-
cut you off. Can we please keep to...
Dawn of the Deep Soul.
Yeah, because I
Okay,
kind
sorry.
of...
Oh, sorry. So
I will grant you
I
that
think
the bit with Nana. Yes.
Sorry to tie this back to this one. The things that happen to them in this movie affect who they are on a fundamental level. Okay, so they actually come out of it different people, in a sense. While they might still have the same goals, they're approaching them from fundamentally changed perspectives. If you see what I mean.
No, I want you to elaborate.
All right.
If you can.
Difficult to. No, I just feel that it's not just the trauma.
Reg, so after what happens to Reg, he no longer has the innocence that he had before. You know, he now understands that this is a truly dark world, and there are dangers that he may not have perceived before. Rico, like the fact that Prushka is sacrificed, like just completely traumatizes her. But and so she kind of holds on to that a little bit going forward. You haven't seen all season 3, but she holds on to that going forward with their journey onwards down into the deeper parts.
Yes, but it's not just trauma. That's what I mean. It's the
it's not just trauma.
Viewpoint
to actually get stronger too.
Yes, whether that's the inner strength necessary to go on with something, or whether that's the change point of view that means you actually approach your goals differently from, accepting that the world is terrible and having to now approach everything from that knowledge rather than from the assumption that there is good somewhere. So it changes how you do things at a fundamental level.
So I argue that this is a fundamental part of, yes, character growth, character development, but also slice of life, right? Because so I was kind of waiting for like Nasuth to jump on my back.
No, go for it.
Right.
Keep cooking.
Because a lot of the time when characters go through traumatic experiences like this, they kind of just reset back to base. Right? Yes. We could see this in the likes of Dragon Ball Z characters, where realistically Gohan has gone through some serious shit, and he should not be okay at any point in time. He should be like a fucking blithering wreck, not only to have witnessed his own father be murdered, but to be also kidnapped at the age of 4 tops, right? And then left into the wild to fend for himself. Like, he's gone through some seriously nasty stuff. And yet, he always bounces back as if that is the status quo of any normal character.
Even Dragon Ball itself, the real series, not the abridged version, addressed a little bit of this when in that one, where in the future, where he's in the story of Trunks, they're actually, when he's talking with Gohan, the way the Gohan describes it is, no, I've been fighting since I was 6 years old. So I don't really know what a peaceful world is like. They actually so they address it a little bit, as much as Dragon Ball Z ever goes into stuff like that. But it never actually, because that's future Gohan. He's dead. there's no he can't grow any more than that. They've killed off that character.
I'm sure that there are loads of other instances with characters similar to Gohan that don't realistically grow in the way that you have proposed.
Yes. I've already granted you that there's a lot of shonen crap that just does not care.
Right.
Yes.
I also want to. There's 2 other things I'd like to say. First off, again, you're focusing on one aspect of slice of life and expanding that to be, well, if this show has character development, it's got slice of life stuff in it, and I don't think that's fair. However, the other thing I want to say is that I will grant you,
you've just cut out,
especially Wandering Twilight, and maybe even in Journey Dawn, there were a lot of slow paced.
We've lost you, Nasuth.
We're introducing you to the world, a lot of stuff like that in there, and even
He's
a little
bit. He's really good point. I'm not going to hear any of it. Dawn of the Deep Soul.
Yeah,
but
he's long into it.
Especially in Dawn of the Deep Soul, there's a lot more of just character development without the other slice of life elements attached.
I feel so bad for him right now. Okay, I will grant you that a lot of the development is done sort of like exclusionary of the slice of life elements. Like, it's like, oh, what kind of butter will you put on your toast this time? I will 100% give you that, but I don't think that character growth excludes the existence of slice of life in a show. Sure. I think it is intertwined.
Of course it doesn't.
So
I want to question you, Xeno.
Go on then.
Okay. The question I would ask instead is the slice of life actually good because it has these things, the character growth, the character development? The slice of life actually good because it has them, or is it defined by the fact that you have character growth, so it is a slice of life? Because that's the
I think that's a good way to phrase it.
That's the thing. Is I think that good slice of life has the character growth as well, in the same way that good action has the character growth.
Bad slice of life doesn't.
So bad slice of life. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting at, because there are so many examples of bad slice of life because the character doesn't grow. And many of the frustrations from things like the rom-coms where the will they won't they come in is because the characters aren't growing at all. And
sorry, did you have more to your point?
No, that's that. So what you got in return.
So my argument is that there are plenty of shitty slice of lives out there, right, that do not have character growth at all, right? But my argument is that shows that have good character growth often, well, like I can rarely think of one, also have strong slice of life presence in the show itself. That's my argument. That's the key crux. I am more than receptive to, if you can think of one that has excellent character growth without slice of life elements, right? Fine. I will hear you out. And Nasuth, you're doing yourself a disservice looking through this list, because this list is specifically
this is all made by you.
This is
No, I think that even shows with slice of life elements that can have the good character growth independent of those slice of life elements, and in fact the slice of life elements have nothing to do with the character growth.
But I argue that those slice of life elements are there to help define the baseline character for that growth to exist.
No, I don't agree. I think that many of the slice of life elements in a lot of action shows are there to give the audience a baseline of what their normal would be, and have no bearing on the character growth or even establishing a baseline of the character themselves in terms of emotional development, because they have no import on that. I think that they bring those in more for a contrast to how wild the action gets, not for the character growth.
What say you, Nasuth?
It's to give you breathing room until the next action sequence, essentially. Yeah, that happens a lot. That does happen quite a bit. So
my thing I was going to get to was that a show that does it not all that well, but does what what I'm talking about as an example is Bleach. The slice of life aspects of Bleach are there to show normalcy before the adventure that happens. Every bit of actual character growth that Ichigo goes through as a protagonist, and he's rare on that because he actually does.
Go. Sorry.
Every bit of character, because he's rare in the shonen protagonist in that his actual point of view does change over things, and his approach to things changes. Yes, he swings a big sword all the time, but his actual attitude in dealing with people does change, and the bits that change him aren't just the combat. He does have a bit, but after being knocked down by the combat, he has to actually reassess himself and get back up. And that doesn't happen in the slice of life moments. None of that happens in the slice of life moments.
So I'm gonna okay.
I think Xeno's point is that without the slice of life moments, those other moments wouldn't mean as much. Is that kind of what you're?
That is something I'm drawing on. But I do feel though that Bleach is like, I don't know if I can agree with that, only because I watched 100 episodes of the original Bleach series, right? including the vast majority of the sodding bounce saga.
Very brave.
Well, that was your mistake.
And the only character development that Ichigo ever saw was he got moody one time and then went back to and then came back after crying in the corner for like, I don't know, 10 episodes, came back with a better sword, right? But his attitude towards everything, sorry, I might be doing you a disservice, and I apologize.
Might be. I will
correct,
but gently.
But his attitude towards what he is doing is still the same. He doesn't change how he is going to beat up everyone to save Rukia. He doesn't do it with like an arm missing. He doesn't do it at the expense of someone else.
No, this is the thing. He does, in fact, change that attitude. Because over the series, well, multiple series, the attitude he has at the beginning is he wants to protect everyone. He wants to get in there, swing his sword, and take down the bad guys. And he does change that. By the time he reaches the end of the Soul Society arc and going on, he modifies that down to he doesn't want to save everyone. He knows he can't save everyone. He actually has taken a look at what he's able to do and says, I still want to save people. I want to save a bunch of people, as many as I can hold in my hands. But I'm not a superhero. I can't save everyone. And he actually goes through that state. He actually takes a step back, assesses his own abilities, and said, well, I still want to go forward and achieve my goals, but I'm not the hero. I'm not the chosen one. I regardless of how much the show wants him to be. He believes he isn't, and modifies his view after the fights he goes through.
So what does he go through that makes him change his stance on life? Because again, sorry, I've as I said, I've only watched so much.
Well, there are a few. Many of them are things like rediscovering who his father is and the actual loss of his own powers. So he fully believes that he loses all of his powers at one point and starts what he believes is the rest of his life and watches his friends going off to do their fantastical adventures without him for weeks. And when it comes, when he's then at the end of the final season before the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, the big break that they took, he has his powers reactivated, returned to him, whatever you want to call it. It's a massive shock, and he's pushed right to the edge before that point, in believing that every single one of his friends is against him, believing every single one of the people he trusted is on the side of his enemy. It actually really breaks him down. You know, emotionally.
Sorry, you're going to have to rewind that bit for a second. So he's gotten his powers back and he thinks everyone else is out to get him?
He gets his power back right at the point where he thought he had lost everything, where he thought that everybody was against him. The reactivation of his powers actually comes with a moment where, because the original time he got his powers, he was stabbed through the chest with Rukia's sword. And the final moment right before he gets his powers back, he's stabbed from behind by Rukia's sword, and he has that moment of, wait, not you two, before things actually kick back in. He's right on the edge, and if his powers hadn't come back then, he would have broken as a human being.
But the big point is that he didn't break as a human being, and it sounds more like
every part of his attitude from these points does change, does modify. He treats his friends differently, he treats what he has differently. It actually comes from that thing of he nearly lost everything. In fact, for a while, he actually technically had lost it and had to deal with life in a situation where he was powerless. And knowing that now, he approaches situations differently for the rest of the show. Especially now in the new arcs where he's coming back from that situation into a new wartime situation.
But did everything go back the way it was with all his friends, or did some of them never come back?
No.
Or
well, the start of this new season, one of his friends does in fact defect the enemy. So it's.
I can guess who that is.
You probably can. Considering it's an arc with Quincy's in it. So it does it badly in terms of what some other shows would, and what Naz is coming up with right now. But it's a show that does it where the development is not in the slice of life, it's not connected to the slice of life. He only values the slice of life because it isn't happening anymore.
Okay, I wanna ask you something that I don't want to directly relate to a Bleach, only because I can't. I can't speak on behalf of Bleach. Exactly, I haven't watched it all, but I have watched all of Dragon Ball Z, and I kind of want to highlight with a lot of these shonen shows, these especially Shonen Jump shows, when a character is quote unquote defeated, but then after a grace period bounces back with the same abilities, like the same strengths, or maybe a bit stronger and things like that. Does that not defeat the character growth / development, because Goku's just come back to
because in real life people can go through a horrible experience or whatever, and they can go down two paths. They can either let it defeat them, or they can grow stronger from it. And
right,
sometimes
but
that's not easy.
Yes.
This is the difference. I'm not talking about being defeated or getting growing from it. I'm just talking bouncing back. Simpsons style episode. They're the same like they were several episodes ago.
I believe that not taking that on board is the opposite of character growth. I believe that not having either being broken or growing from it is literally the opposite. Staying the same throughout the thing. Yeah, many shows do that, and you're absolutely right. That is not character growth. And it's funny that you raised The Simpsons, because that's slice of life with no character growth whatsoever.
Oh no! Do remember we've already established that there are plenty of slice of life out there that have no character growth, right? But my argument is that good character growth comes from slice of life elements existing in the show, right?
And so I'm countering that with pointing out that character growth can come entirely independently of the slice of life, and I'm sure that Naz is going to be doing that.
But here's to play devil's advocate for Xeno. All right, would that whole quest line, you know what I mean? Would that whole storyline with Ichigo matter as much if we didn't have slow slice of life elements before then to get us connected to those characters? Would that growth still be there and still matter?
I think it would. I think that because the actual slow slice of life didn't really exist with Bleach. There are elements of it, but it was never the focus. Everything that was about the characters actually doing things took them out of the slice of life.
See, I both agree and disagree with you, because I disagree in the sense that at the start of the show, there was a whole thing about trying to live a normal life at high school and things like that. But then when what's his name? The author's name? No, the author's name.
Kubo.
Yeah, Kubo. When Kubo basically I'm bored of high school shit. Let's just complete as far as I'm aware, it never comes back, right?
It
but you still have that foundation at the beginning.
Yeah, it's like the foundation point where there is the slice of life happening, and then something weird happens, from that. So the first season, yes, you're right, it's him trying to live an ordinary life, and that's what makes the later parts of the show impactful, not because he was trying to before, but because when he's forced to now, you can see what he's lost.
I would
so
like
being forced into a slice of life where nothing is happening is emblematic of what the rest of the show actually is.
Okay, I'm giddy because I don't know if you just realized what you just said. You basically highlighted the fact that the slice of life elements made the character development more impactful.
No. What I said was that the slice of life element pointed out that is there to show that all the growth is happening outside of it.
Oh,
You
so
see?
he's saying that nothing really changed during the slice of life stuff. It
Exactly.
introduced you to the characters a little bit, but there was no growth or development with them. It was all just the baseline. Here's these characters.
Yes.
Here's their current, traits. What have you?
Trying to live his slice of life caused
Literally
more
just the starting
problems for
point.
him. Yes.
Okay.
So, and then highlighted by the fact that when he's forced to go back to it, nothing happens.
Then there may be a miscommunication on my part, because my point isn't that the good character development happens during slice of life moments.
No, you're saying because it happens because there are the slice of life elements there. And I don't agree with that at all. I think that slice of life elements can be completely independent from character growth.
Okay. Right.
And that the slice of life elements can be used as a narrative tool for the audience to see how strange the actual show is, independent of character growth.
Yeah, so I'd like to use Jujutsu Kaisen, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So in Season 2... spoilers ahead, by the way, if you haven't watched Season 2.
Do you want to hit the spoilers button?
Yeah, I think so. Because this is kind of towards the end of the...
4, 3, 2, 1... Away we go.
Right. So, when Itadori makes it down to the subway, right? And he runs into the guy that can manipulate blood, right?
Sure.
All fight until the very end, when suddenly he gets those mental flashes of Itadori, being part of his family. But that's not really a slice of life element exactly, because they're only these brief flashes. It's not like their whole life, and it's interspersed with him going crazy at the same time. Like what the heck is going on? And that leads him to completely change his behavior towards these people. And I would say that it causes him to grow as a character, and it's just based on all the action that's going on.
Okay.
And we don't really know much about him in the first place, I would say.
Hold on.
As far as slice of life goes.
Now, you see, I thought you were going to take this in a completely different direction, and as a result, I was going to rip it to shreds. But you've actually really piqued my interest, right? Can you please elaborate further, right? What characters are we talking about? Who's getting the development? What is leading you to this conclusion? Right?
I can't remember the name of the guy.
It doesn't matter about the name, you can describe them, right?
It's the guy that can manipulate blood.
Okay, it's the blood wielder, sure.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So we're laying all the cards properly flat on the table now. Is the guy that is the blood wielder, is he the one that's getting the character development?
Yes.
Right. And why is he getting the character development?
Because he suddenly had these memories implanted into his head that make him realize that he's related to Itadori.
Right. Okay. And why is he related to Itadori?
Oh, because of this guy. I can never remember his name. Is that?
It's technically not him, right?
Yeah, it's the creature that lives inside of him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the guy that's possessing him who ultimately possessed Itadori's parents, or one of them, probably his father.
Exactly.
So
when right,
basically the parent of multiple
now
characters in this story.
this is really interesting because like the way I thought you were gonna say the character development was more on Itadori's side, and I was gonna argue against this only because the events that you're talking about happen over like I don't know what, an hour, right? It's like an entire second part of a season. But
suddenly now he has all these other memories that are like a lifetime.
No. I'm not talking about the Blood Wielder. I'm talking about Itadori. Right?
Yes,
that's the direction I thought you were going to go down. So the fact that you're actually bringing up the other character, I think is really interesting and is very good as a point to counter what I'm going on about, right? Now, this is difficult because we know next to nothing about the Blood Wielder, including his name.
That's part of my point. We don't have that slice of life basis that a lot of characters get. We only know his current goals, which is to protect his family, I suppose.
Yes. And to kill Itadori at the time. That's stop the things that are happening. Sorry, stop anybody from interfering with the ritual.
World.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Huh. This is really interesting. I'm not quite sure.
Do we want to leave
about this anymore?
Do we want to leave spoilers on?
Yes, for the time being. So, I mean, a part of me feels that if we had more exposure to this villain character, right, we would, potentially see other elements to him and things like that. He would probably still, even if he was just doing villainous things the entire time and wasn't actually doing anything slice of life, if we saw no basis to, or the baseline was just basically everything pre-Itadori fight was just the same, I think we would still see this level of development regardless, and that is really interesting to me, because specifically
all that slice of life would have really done is give us more of a basis of why he wants to protect his family, more or less.
Yes.
Well, it's really interesting you say this because villain-esque characters aren't ever portrayed. I can't think of any shows where you have an anti-hero character or even an antagonist character that is portrayed outside of their evil machinations. Even the likes of Dio Brando, like, any slice of life crap that he does is looking sexy on a bed while reading a book or drinking the blood of
or kissing JoJo's girlfriend.
Or draining the blood out of his latest victims. He doesn't. So it's really interesting. Are there any villain-esque characters?
I just want to interject though that when you are a vampiric character with the slice of life would literally be those things. So, and that's kind of cool.
Well, okay, yes, you're not necessarily wrong.
That was just an aside. Go on with the rest of your point.
Well, I mean, my point is, like, I'm really interested to think of, are there any, like, villain characters that have particular slice of life moments? Maybe because Nasuth has literally scrolled down and has actually pointed it out, is the bad guys from Dorohedoro. Right? Yeah. That's like, potentially the only one I can think of where we have these sorts of more slice of life-esque escapades.
Off now that we've gone to that.
Oh yes, yeah. Now that we could probably change the timestamp so it's much earlier. But these escapades, they're they do humanize very much so our antagonist group. So, again, a part of me feels like, does humanizing our antagonists basically remove them from being antagonists?
Considering we had a whole episode on our favourite villains a while back and had that discussion, because many of the ways that people try to humanize antagonists is by giving them something that gives them a reason to be antagonists.
Yeah,
usually they think they're doing the right thing. They're just doing it the wrong way.
But humanizing antagonists doesn't stop them from being antagonists as long as they are opposed to your main characters, to your protagonist.
True, but there is the side of life which is they are very much the heroes of their own story, right?
Yes.
They can't realistically be the villains of someone else's story when they are so written well enough. Imagine that made sense. When they're written well enough so that they are the heroes of their own story. You know, at no point in time...
I think they can be. I think that's actually a sign of really good storytelling. That if you make the villain or the antagonist the hero of their own story, it actually gives you far more interesting repercussions when the hero of the actual story comes along and defeats them in some way, or makes them, shows them that they're the antagonist, that they're the villain of that story.
But it's really interesting though. It's really interesting though, because at that point in time, you will basically amass a following of people that don't want to see that villain fall. I mean, there is absolutely...
Counterpoint, Ragna Crimson, the dragons, they keep trying to humanize them.
I know.
Sure. Well, you'll hear all about this in the review next week too. But I've already said it. It's the mid-season review, I think, which was last season's full review. Anyway, they keep trying to humanize the dragons, but they can't really be. I mean, they try. They keep giving them human elements, but the problem is that we're already shown that they're doing genocide, complete genocide against humans, for really dumb reasons, because their god told them to, essentially. And so this works, like, actively works against the narrative to me. Every time they try to do this, it knocks me out of it. I'd be more okay with it if they were just very low, 1 or 2 dimensional villains, rather than trying to add this element that works against its own narrative.
Like, one thing that I really find sort of appealing in Dio Brando as a villain is that realistically they can't turn around and make Dio a good guy. Like, still, no. if you had to choose any JoJo over Dio, right? Most of the times the JoJos would win out. I think people wouldn't pick Dio as their favorite character, but one thing you can notice over... Huh?
Well, I would.
Well, yeah, but so you will tell me that over all the JoJos, Dio... Sorry, seasons, right? That Dio is your favorite character. Not Old Man Joseph, right? Not Young Man Joseph.
It is a hard choice between the Josephs and Dio. It really is.
Yeah. But the thing that I'd like to highlight is that over the seasons, they are slowly, or Araki, right, is slowly humanizing Dio, right? So in Stardust Crusaders, he couldn't be a bigger asshole, right?
A bigger one-note villain.
Yeah, but in Stone Ocean, he's trying to basically save his soul, right? Which is really interesting dichotomy between the two.
That's what he says. I don't know if that's actually the truth.
Right, true.
Then,
right?
That's still a selfish goal.
But
still an asshole move.
Well, yes, but not to the same extent as, like, I'm going to turn everyone into fucking vampires. Yeah, fuck you all. I'm gonna rule this world. Yeah, nom 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 nom. I don't know, but the whole thing is, like, they are slowly pitch shifting his character away from being
isn't that even more true in the timeline reset? I haven't actually read it.
I've never read JoJo Line because I think the timeline reset is between 6 and 7.
Yeah,
I think
Stone Ocean. Yeah,
I think, but I honestly, genuinely don't know. So
never mind then.
Yeah, but
so,
I mean,
it's interesting though. You keep bringing up these things about, for example, developing a villain, and none of them actually involve the slice of life elements to how that villain's being developed. The slice of life elements can be there, but the character changes isn't to do with. It doesn't even feature any slice of life to it, so there's no basis for that.
Dio and Poochie kind of.
Yes, that was going to be my argument, right?
It's them sitting around talking and sipping wine and reading books and philosophizing. So you could kind of argue it's slice of lifey.
But even so, right? We've got I've now put on the curated list of stuff I've put on in this week. We have loads of different anime that are sort of like action adventure anime. Even Dorohedoro is in that, which has strong slice of life elements in it.
Oh yeah.
With strong character development. We have One Punch Man. We have Cowboy Bebop, Frieren, Golden Kamuy, right? Princess Mononoke. Apothecary Diary. Apothecary Diary. Dude, I can't word that.
Dyslexia of the mouth.
Yes, Ancient Magus Bride. Again, this show, right, is the the peak of boy that escalated quickly and has the biggest slice of life start, which is GunBuster, right?
In school, everything, learning how to pilot robots.
Yeah,
looking for romance
in gym class, right? Yeah, and everything that our main protagonist goes through, right? Everything she experiences is set to that baseline, right? All the sacrifices she makes, everything she goes through, is made all the more prominent by the life that she's left behind, right? And this is, and again, right, I'm just gonna slide it in here. We're gonna talk about it next week. Delicious in Dungeon, right? I'm not gonna go into any detail, but if you've watched the 12th episode, you know what I mean, right? You know what the fuck I mean, right? Now's a fucking watch it already.
I think we've already talked about this at the end of the mid-season review, where it's kind of like a slice of life in disguise,
but with an end goal. Yes,
it's like a slice of life that's hidden in an adventure anime.
Yeah,
and yeah.
But again, we have. Go on.
I kind of want to pivot off a little bit on this one, because I came into this particular show with the firm thing I wanted to express to the audience as my belief. Slice of life is the fundamental genre that contrasts entirely with escapism. And the reason that has to be the case is that escapism is all about what fantasy, sci-fi, horror, all of it is. It's escapism. Slice of life is everything that is not those things.
Right.
And it's fundamental because going back to the very earliest days of entertainment, stories about what life was like have always been the thing. The basic news is slice of life. Daytime dramas, even things
like Leave It to Beaver or the Dick Van Dyke Show, or any of those old shows were basically just, here's some people living their suburban life,
Exactly. You look at some of the oldest entertainment forms, slice of life. You look at some of the most famous cartoons from the Western world.
Yeah.
The Flintstones, Top Cat, and all of those, the Hanna-Barbera stuff. It's there's the escapist ones where it's like, you know, the wacky races, but then there's the Flintstones, which is one of the Jetsons, literal slice of life, with some kind of escapism twist to them. You know, even live action. What is the longest? So, you know, you'll know it. What's the longest running show on British television? The highest rated and longest running.
I'm gonna guess it's Coronation Street.
Yes, and EastEnders.
EastEnders, that's the one I know. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah, EastEnders, Coronation Street.
Never watched it, but I know
and their competitors. Those two. Look at what was the one trend that took the world by storm and knocked other shows off of the airing list were the shows where it's literal, not soap operas, but ones where literally we go and watch somebody else doing stuff, like Big Brother.
Reality TV crap.
Reality TV, yes.
Oh,
reality
no.
TV as a concept.
You've just ruined Slice of Life, Thaylien. No.
But
that's the thing.
This
is the fundamental part of entertainment is people like seeing things they can relate to, other people doing things.
I have a question.
And so, yeah.
Is Speed Racer Slice of Life?
I couldn't tell you.
Ooh, I'd say it is. That's majority slice of life, but with an action twist. Xeno.
Yeah. There you go.
Right. I wanna double back on this because I kind of feel that Thaylien hit the nail on the head with the mention of reality TV, right? Mm-hmm. Now, there have been incidents in shows like Big Brother where someone says one thing, right? And that's the point. It gets edited. It's taken out of context. It is manipulated to generate drama. And in fact, where soap operas were... I could very easily imagine originally just plain bland slice of life stuff. They very quickly would have escalated to just being dramatic bonfires, right?
I got addicted to Days of Our Lives for a little while, and the weird stuff that happened in that. There were like demonic possessions. Stefano came back like 5 times after dying. You know, it just got weird.
Yeah. So, in a thing based on what I mentioned before was EastEnders. The end of EastEnders has an iconic theme song. It's a thing that starts off with a big drum thing, and then breaks off into the actual music. And there was like years ago, so before it's even got to the point where it is now, a interview pointed out that it stopped becoming what happened in the episode and started becoming whatever scene got those drums at the end. That was the point. That was the point, the cliffhanger or the dramatic reveal, that was the key point of that series. By like 5-6 years ago, it became that.
Yeah, and this is... So, I argue that in the West, we started seeing a lot of what I classify as over-dramatization of TV shows with the start of Game of Thrones. Now, I'm not saying, it didn't exist beforehand. I'm saying it... Right, okay. The popularization of over-dramatization. Yeah? That's the
show that made it like a household name, but not that concept.
Yeah, it's like that. So the popularization of the isekai trope was Sword Art Online, right? The equivalent of over-dramatizing any narrative, right? It was popularized by Game of Thrones, and you started seeing this more and more in, you know, you're watching something like True Blood, or you're watching something like NCIS, or you're watching
True Blood came before, but anyway.
I think you're right.
Doesn't
TV
matter.
shows.
Doesn't
I
matter.
would argue some of the shows by Joss Whedon as well would be similar
Sure,
in
yeah.
that sense.
Potentially,
And
yeah.
even
But
hell, going back, if you're thinking about those kind of times, the old Hercules and Xena shows.
But
No,
a
you
lot
see,
of
I
those
don't.
were sort of fringe.
Really?
Well, Hercules and Xena weren't, but a lot of those shows were kind of fringe, more geared towards like sci-fi fans or
No, but,
fantasy
like,
fans.
Buffy the
whereas
Vampire Slayer,
Game
I
of
think, would
Thrones
be.
made it
but
stupid.
But the big
popular.
thing is, right? We're talking about the whole, the conclusion to the narrative point is not in the episode that it was raised in. It's in the next episode to get you to come back. That is what I mean by the over dramatization. Right? Yeah. If you look at Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the narrative points were resolved typically within the episode itself.
Yes.
Maybe some minor overhanging stuff for the next episode. But especially Hercules and Xena. Sorry, we're talking about West crap. Sorry, I apologize. But the whole point, with Hercules and Xena, it was always within the episode itself. Look at Star Trek Discovery. Look at Star Trek Picard. Right? Even Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Star Trek shows, right, have this over-dramatized element of, you know, just, oh yeah, well, we'll resolve that next week to make sure that the viewer comes back for
Meanwhile,
to continue
when
watching.
you have Voyager, you've got the magic reset button at the end of every episode.
I'd much rather that magic reset button than the shit that is fucking... Anyway, right. But I feel I could easily see that in anime, bringing it back, right? In anime, a lot of shows have escalated, like Dragon Ball Z, like Naruto, like Black Clover, Fairy Tail. All these shows have escalated to the point where slice of life elements just typically don't exist in them anymore. You can't relate to Gohan going out slicing off bits of a dinosaur's tail, right, to make dinner, right? And
I don't know.
Please,
you show those kids and they want to be those. They want to be those people.
No,
right? But I'm not talking.
No, it's you can empathize. You can't relate.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Because
There you go.
But
because those kids haven't actually lived out in the wild. Chopping off.
Yeah.
Tails, yeah.
But when you have such iconic scenes that everyone sodding remembers, this one scene in Cowboy Bebop of bell peppers and beef without the beef, right? Because a lot of people have gone through a point in their life where they can afford the bare minimum, right? At one point in time in my life when I was a student, all I could afford was a bowl of rice with mayo and ketchup, right? So I get it.
That's terrible on you.
All right.
That's
all I could bloody afford.
Due to that mistake over last December, I literally spent a week not even going to... I took a week off work so that I didn't have to pay for my bus ride in.
Yeah.
Which is £4 a day.
Yeah.
So I saved £20 that I then put into the ingredients that I made for basically... I can make noodles with my stuff back there.
But...
So...
To me, these slice of life elements, right? I'm not one for being entirely like I don't
all left
care
something
to
in
relate.
the fridge too long so that it comes alive.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, right? But I'm not particularly one to care about relating to absolutely everything about a character, but just having those nice subtle nods, learning about another culture like the crap, I can't remember what their name is from Golden Kamuy. Do you remember Nasuth?
Oh yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but like, you know, Aspara's people, learning about them, learning about their culture, right? Learning about you know, the woes of the work life from Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, right? Just seeing these things to me just massively enhances the character's developments.
You're correct in that sense. So this is what I was leading on to with my big rant about the fundamental part of entertainment. It's either escapism or it's slice of life, right? What's important about making shows now and making stories now, stories with characters that you can have some empathy with, relationships with, relate to in the isolated value, okay, is the contrast, is blending the escapism with the slice of life. That's the key to making a good show. I would say Kobayashi has a lot of escapism in it too. Yes, so Kobayashi is a slice of life with a hefty dollop of escapism, but a very specific and rules-based one, right? One that fits into their universe in that sense. They've defined what their world does, and therefore the fitting in that escapism into the slice of life is what makes it entertaining.
And lo and behold, I can tolerate it.
Yes. So I don't believe that the slice of life is a fundamental part of how a character can grow and is something that you can base character development off.
But it is.
But I do believe that it's essential to making part of a good show. I believe that having, either for a narrative sake of showing this is baseline normal and now we're going to launch off to the fantasy or the sci-fi, or we're in a fantasy setting, here is their baseline normal, so look at Konosuba. Their baseline normal in Konosuba is hanging out in their place, whether that's a barn or whether it's the house, and thinking about maybe going out and doing something for the guild. That's their slice of life.
See, I was thinking about this, right? I was genuinely thinking about, could Konosuba be considered slice of life? And I'm genuinely interested in everyone's opinions. A part of me was saying, no, it can't, right?
Because only their life is so crazy?
Yes, it is escalated to the point of there is no sense of normality, right? Even not Kazuma with his Kotatsu enterprise, even they have friends with a lich in the shopping district.
The town,
They have a fucking masochist masochist crusader. Is
Paladin,
crusader?
Yes.
Is she a paladin or a crusader?
No, she's a crusader.
Yeah, she can't heal herself or anything like that.
got
Everything
a mage
is
that can only cast one spell.
Everything is whacked off of its gourd, right? The only thing that is not whacked off of its gourd is the existence of the city Axel. That is it, right? Even wherever is it? Oh crap! What's the I can't remember the hot springs. No, the hot springs.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. The city that worshipped Aqua.
Yeah, that one's fucking whacked off of its gourd, right?
Yes.
The only thing not is the city of Axel itself.
The baseline life in that city is
no, just the city, normal. Just the buildings, just the buildings, just the walls, the ground.
People get up in the morning, they go to work, they do these things. I mean, yes, the events that happen. Okay, I don't know of any other series that decided to have an annual running of the flying cabbages. Let's be honest.
Well, again, a brilliant one is, I wasn't meaning for this show to appear, but anyway, but the other one, which is the guy with the mohawk and the pink suspenders, right? Mm-hmm. What does he even do? Right.
But that's the thing. That is their base. It's not slice of life. It's not normal to us. It's not normal in any way. But it is their baseline normal. They're in a fantasy setting, they have a baseline normal, and there is slice of life that can happen in that. And by having that, just having that baseline to go from, how whacked out everything else is even more impressive, because even when you take away our own suspension of disbelief to get them into the fantasy setting, they have a normal, and it can go weirder than that. And that's just brilliant. That's a great way of contrasting the escapism with a slice of life.
I would say because it eases us into that weirder, whacked out. It starts out kind of normal with them, poor and having to stay in a barn while they do menial labor in the town, and it slowly builds up from there into the more crazy thing. So I would argue it is kind of a slice of life. I mean, it's first and foremost a parody and a comedy.
Yes,
but
yeah.
I think it uses the slice of life to do that.
A better example of how it does that, Nasuth, is the other hero with the magic sword. Because in that world, that is not... You've got this hero with a magic sword off to defeat the Demon Lord, and you compare him with Kazuma, and that guy with the magic sword is normal for that world. But Kazuma comes along and steals it and sells it on a regular. I mean,
I kind of get where you're coming from, but I mean, to me, there's not enough there to analyze to say whether or not that is the normal. Because to me, you're trying to compare I think his name is Mitsurugi. You're trying to compare him alongside the receptionist at the guild hall, alongside the two guys that go to the succubus place with Kazuma, alongside the guys that do the brickwork.
So these guys are very different, but there is it sets a baseline for what this world calls normal. And as I say, with slice of life can happen whenever you've established what's normal. JoJo has established that normal is so far behind them that everything they do is out there. Okay? JoJo JoJo floats above normal at all times.
Yeah.
Okay. They have not come down to a state of normalcy at any point, except for setting up the story, like JoJo sitting in school, being a delinquent. That's it, and then the rest of the show takes off from there and doesn't touch back down again.
I would say that are we just talking about Stardust Crusaders? Because if we're talking about
let's go with
Diamond
Stardust
is Unbreakable, then I would okay.
Oh God,
because I would say Diamond is Unbreakable has a lot of slice of life elements in it,
and that's why it's crap.
That could be it. That's gonna be the thing. So this is my thing. This is my whole point when I was coming into this, is that it's the two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Escapism and slice of life as two sides to how you perceive things. And character growth can happen independent of either. It's not just that, that some shows action is the only way to develop character. No, I'm never going to say that. In the same way, I don't believe that slice of life is the only way to base character growth off either.
I will say though,
it is the correct contrast.
It's very nice to have those slice of life. I know I gave examples where I would say that, you've got it with that. You've got things that don't have that slice of life, but I think those moments, those slow moments, are important in a more action-oriented anime or whatever, because they give you, the audience, a chance to breathe, a chance to absorb, to internalize what's happening. So I do think that your general premise is good, that slice of life stuff is important, but I wouldn't say it's necessary.
Yes. I
will agree with you, because there is one show that we haven't even touched upon that I argue has next to no, if any, slice of life elements, which is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I thought about that one. Yeah, but it does. It does. When they're visiting Winry.
Yes, Winry.
To get like his new arm, there's a lot of these slower moments where you do just see the characters interacting.
But even that, is interlaced with events happening in other parts of the world that are super excited. So
yes,
I get
but those other parts of the world don't actually involve these characters and their growth at the time. So
I do get where you're coming from, but comparing this to something like Free Ren, which I'm actually believing Nasuth hasn't watched any of.
I've watched like 4 episodes. I know. I need to.
No. Then Apothecary Diaries or something like that.
There's so much on that either. But no.
But you've watched so much more. Yeah. But like the whole premise is that yes, like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is fantastic. There is no doubt in my mind about that. Right? It deserved to hold that first place on my anime list for all the years it has. I am still on the fence of whether or not Free Ren deserves to knock it off, right?
Because we still are coming to the end of the show.
Just in case Thaylien says something bad.
No, I think we're still just coming to the end of the show, so it's not. Yeah. We don't know if it's going to stand the test of time based on how it ends.
But the big thing to me is that where something like Free Ren has very strong casual slice of life elements to it, even stuff that is relatable to today's standards. Fullmetal Alchemist,
you would say it maintains that the whole way through, right?
Yes, Fullmetal Alchemist typically not the last, I think, like 6 or 8 episodes of Free Ren, right? But still, the Fullmetal Alchemist, I don't think really
quicker.
It doesn't go back to base ever, right? It really doesn't. Even when Ed has to get his replacement arms when he's up north, it comes to him, right?
Yes, but that's the thing. I think that the slice of life elements of Fullmetal Alchemist are snatched to where they can be. They are taken where they're just training, or where they are dealing with the day-to-day grind for a little bit, between adventures. And I think that contrast is what makes
that is part of
actual big fights.
Think of somebody in the military, they have to grab those small moments because often their life is filled with other things.
True. I think what would have done it more is having a full epilogue episode, right? Having it so that the brothers go around seeing those that they have affected, so on and so forth, in its full, as opposed to that end between Ed and Winry. I would have, even going to fucking Xing, that would have been interesting.
Yes. So this is the thing, though. That Nasuth and I have been arguing quite a bit that we don't. That slice of life is not necessary for the character growth and for the entertainment of the show. I mean,
not necessary. But it's nice.
No. So the other thing then, Nasuth, that you have to admit is then true, is that a show can be good without the conflict and action as well.
Oh sure, yeah. It's. I mean, I already said Miss Kobayashi is good, and it was good even before the conflict of her father showing. The whole thing.
So this is where I challenge you to watch Interviews with Monster Girls then on your own without having Xeno and Loz watch it with you.
I don't know.
He won't do it. No. He won't do it.
No, but there is one that I do keep wanting to watch, and I just can't seem to find the time for it. Because I saw it in a YouTube video with somebody that said, I know there's a lot of people that don't like Slice of Life because they feel it doesn't do anything. Here's one you really should watch because it does. And so I keep leaning. I can't remember the name of it right now.
What is it?
It's a place further than the universe. That's what it was.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I keep wanting to watch that. So it's not like I'm opposed to the idea. I don't want them to just be sitting around cooking dinner and going to work and.
So
he can't admit it, right? I would be certainly interested to see what others have, our audience has to say about this whole topic. Do you feel that?
Absolutely.
I still feel that. Okay, fine. It's not essential, right? To have a slice of life
nice.
elements into a
It's
character.
really nice.
But I think it enriches their development so much more.
Yes. And not just the characters, in general, the story as well.
Yeah.
The setting, the expansion of their world they're creating.
Yep.
Yeah.
And again,
That
giving the
is
audience that
necessary
chance to
to
breathe,
have.
too.
Yes, exactly. Like the musical interludes in a Maxwell video.
What?
I have something that shows you know.
I didn't hear what you
They
said.
said Maxor videos.
The musical interludes in a Maxwell video, which I
still don't know what that is.
realized.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I've now got something new to show you. Excellent.
Oh God! Right. Okay then.
We've been going at this for a while. Should we move on?
We have.
Should we come
Let
to
us know what you
conclusions?
think. Right. Yes. Let's.
I think that was our
Conclusion. Nasuth is wrong. So
Yes,
there we go.
100%.
Moving on to the supporter questions.
Wait, no, but Xeno's always wrong.
Right.
Shoot.
Shut up. Right. You agreed. It's fine. Right. So supporter questions. As Rugal says, whose intro is it anyway? Did you ask people to like and subscribe? We did.
He did.
my
Well,
intro this
either
time.
way, I'd like to ask everyone watching to do me a personal favor. Please like the video, comment, and maybe subscribe to it if you don't mind. Right. Zrugul also asks, what's your favorite Dragon Ball Z villain?
Self.
Yeah, there is a good one. But I think mine's going to be Babidi, because he's an angry little man that gets stomped on. and he's the one villain that I actually think absolutely deserves the bad ending he got.
I can't believe you just out Xeno like that. You know, calling him an angry little man.
Bigger than you.
Sorry.
Trying to think. Is there anyone other than Cell? I don't think so.
Cooler.
No.
Brawly.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just,
not Brawly.
It's Cell.
Yeah, Brawly.
It's Cell. It's just Cell. I can't
Yeah.
honestly. I like
Yeah.
everyone else was like lame. Like
Broly's power
comparison.
is maximum.
Yeah.
I mean, DBZ abridged Cell is obviously the superior one, but even regular Cell.
Oh god,
Definitely.
yeah. Even regular
Charismatic
Cell is
is
still
fine.
better. Yeah. Ricky
Mr.
7.
Popo.
Ricky. Oh my god. Kami, I need to tell you. I need you to tell me that I can leave the lookout. I was like, what? I need you to tell me I can leave the lookout.
Oh,
Popo, you can leave the lookout. That bitch don't tell me what to do. Right.
I'm
Ricky
so
7.
glad he's peeping out on this audio. It's so much fun.
Good. Right.
You guys are probably going to get the actual audio where he's not peeking out, but it's
No,
so
probably
funny
peeking.
to hear it from this end.
Anyway, Ricky 7 asks, again, please like and subscribe, or it's supposed to be
Vegeta.
Vegeta.
Yeah, he said Vegeta, so, you know, there you go.
Vegeta.
We'll murder
Vegeta.
Kakarot. Okay. I know what you're trying to say, Ricky 7. Who is your least
I'm
favorite?
wanting
Who is your least favorite Dragon Ball Z villain?
Raditz.
Oh, Garlic Jr.
Yeah,
Oh,
you said
fucking
that.
hey! Oh God, no! He's just
Yeah.
every single. I would always wanted to skip that arc whenever it was on TV.
No.
For me,
No.
it's-
The two aliens from Fake Namek. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was
No,
going to
it's
say
still Garlic
Frost from from Super.
No idea
No,
who
but
that
this is
is.
Z.
It
This
said
is
nah,
Z.
but Z. It says Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Specifically said Z.
Okay, so Z. Yeah, no, I'm going to go with the fake Namekians from Fake Namek.
Yeah, fucking. I get what you're talking about, but that's
Completely-
over in like an episode. Fucking
Yeah,
Garlic
it's a
Jr. is
completely
like 10 episodes.
unnecessary episode.
Do you realize that fucking took 2.5 months aired in Japan?
In real time.
Fucking Garlic Jr. bollocks, yeah. Right. Anyway, JPEG Boy asks, if you could power up one ability that you have, what would it be, and what would its power-up version allow? I'm going to make a prediction. Xeno will involve coding things, and Thaylien will involve cooking things.
Well, you'd be wrong, JPEG boy. Because
Whoever you
I
are.
have a secret talent. My secret talent is juggling, and I want to power up my juggling ability so that I can juggle, within reason, anything. with control and accuracy. So can you imagine somebody comes in to fight you, right? And instead of getting a fight, you grab hold of their arm and you start juggling them.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine the confusion as you juggle 3 opponents at once?
Better yet, you're juggling bullets. They start shooting at you with guns, and you grab their bullets out of the air and just juggling.
Yes, start juggling. It's like hop, 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 hop.
Right.
And just start juggling. Yeah, absolutely.
Mine would be my super low level exercise ability to be super high level exercise ability. Anyway. TGA Girl asks, if you had to script a slice of life anime but had to give it a fantasy twist by including a pantheon of gods, which pantheon do you think you would make for the best slice of life? Greek and Roman are basically the same fucking pantheon. Norse, Egyptian, or maybe Irish. Hold on, what's the rest of this? Which one have the best potential for drama and comedy?
Norse.
Why does everyone go for Greek? I mean, they're easy to make fun out of and things.
They are very human.
I'd say Norse or Irish.
I think I'd go for Egyptian though, specifically for the fish out of water thing of Egyptians coming down to Egyptian gods who are so confusing in their history. Like they are so old in history that there's like 6 versions of each god that have existed over time, and so you could use any one of those or even bring them all in, and that would be hilarious.
I'm gonna go with Greek.
Of course,
it's just too easy to say the piss out of them.
Basic.
It is.
Right, I am. But like they just get drunk and Zeus would fuck everything.
Now let's do the Indian gods. That way we can have like 700 of them or something.
Ooh.
Right. Okay. Let's move on to the comments. First of all, from the news. Yes, it was. Right. So first off, from the news, Strombus Shell says, "Oh right, I missed that Dragon Ball Z marathon on Toonami, mostly because I haven't had Toonami in 2 years. Yep. I've never seen Demon Lord retry. Is it good?
Well, watch it and let us know.
I don't think any of us have.
None of us have seen it either.
Yeah. I remember hearing about plus-sized Elf and thought it sounded really dumb, but dang, those characters look thick in a good way. Yeah, that's not wrong. Right. Actually, I'd say Dragon Ball.
This is
yeah. Sorry. Zrugel says. Actually, I'd say Dragon Ball Z Kai was the best version. Second is the abridged, and that one's only second because a lot of the jokes didn't make sense if you don't have the context of watching the original. The original version had so much filler. Oh my god, it really bloody well did.
It really did.
The problem is, like, even seeing the original, like, so many of the context jokes in abridged needed to be explained regardless. To me, it felt like it. Anyway, I had to pause the video and laugh that at that Grams remark.
I put the explanation in the brackets
about real people units. Oh.
Yeah,
Right, I'm with you, Grams.
It's something Grams.
Good one.
That is in real people units.
Yeah, well, you know.
Apparently he thinks it's a good one, Nasuth.
Yeah, he did.
It was, at the time.
Don't encourage him, please.
You're very American, and it's adorable.
Don't. Like, there's America and a like small part of South Africa that uses like Fahrenheit, and it's just like, can you please use Celsius?
I've gotten pretty good at converting to Celsius, but the weights are still beyond me. Anyway,
I'm noticing the edits, not because it's jarring, but because there's no break between the stories. Actually, so I did that on purpose, and I'd like to know, what did people think? Do they actually like the quick transition between stories, or You know,
he did it despite the fact that I was trying to fill up the dead air with comments.
Yeah, fucking chop that
So
out.
it's the combo of spiting me and trimming down the episode, which I'm sure Xeno agreed.
You knew I was going to do this, so you just made it harder. Anyway.
Yes.
Love you, Xeno.
And now, dickheads. And now for last week's comments from the cast. Drugel says, in response to our not safe for work standards, and if people watch with the video up, I often play games while watching / listening. I like to have the video open so I can see your reactions. Never watch at work because I'm too busy. Also on my feet. That's fair. In response to when military-style school uniforms were first introduced, I'm going to guess the 1800s during the militarization of initial westernization of Japan. That was wrong. Is it wrong? Is it?
No,
Right?
it's where that's the first time where uniforms were invented,
Okay, cool.
were instituted, but also the start of the rich people's school, where they then put military uniforms in because it was for the sons and daughters of the influential.
All right. In response to talking about how walled towns and school uniforms look the same in anime, that would make a cool game show. I feel like we're due for a game show episode. Actually, we are. I'm working with someone to put one together. Which actually reminds me, I need to get onto that. What?
I will literally go and find all the walled towns in anime and memorize them to score points if you try to do that.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. No, but that's not the game show. That's not the episode. Right.
Good. The spice, a powerful drive.
Right, so Strongest Shell says, wait, maybe I should say yes it is, just so you'll go do it and then we'll never do it. Right, Strongest Shell says, I feel you missed out by not talking about Sailor Moon, Yamada, and the Seven Witches, and maybe the melancholy of Suzumiya. But really, the topic of school uniforms could involve any anime that takes place at a school. Oh, so true. The survey results were interesting, but I'm only hearing the numbers in...
with only hearing numbers.
With only and mostly forgetting why I thought they were interesting. Something about if people see uniforms in a positive or negative way.
I really should have put those on the assets. I do apologise. I found that information right. So,
as long as teachers and staff aren't overbearingly strict about it, I think I have a positive view on uniforms. But I remember thinking that they were just an awful idea when I was a kid, even though my school didn't have them. It more than likely has a lot to do with the sense of belonging that Xeno was talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, in my adult life, I'm 100% let me wear whatever the hell I want. You know, I'm going through a rough enough time dealing with this job. You know, I don't want to... Anyway. Right, so let's move on to...
I self-imposed a uniform on myself because I was living out a very small wardrobe space for a long time. Fair. So I instituted basically just black t-shirts and jeans so I could wear them to death. And the only concession to originality was putting
something simple like that.
Was putting words on them. That was it.
Well, before Nasuth's internet melts, let us move on to the best part of the show, which is the memes. You can find all the memes in the links in the description below. We source all our memes from Reddit. I don't know where you guys source your memes. Of course, if you wish to submit memes, you can go onto the Discord, go to the Discord and
the Kanpai
Discord things,
and submit them into the relevant thread.
Discord parts.
And because Reddit deletes them, we actually archive them onto our website so that you can find them again in case of Reddit users just deleting their memes, which they sometimes do.
Which they do. They always do.
All the moderators do it. Right.
Remember the first your meme. So, laziness is the mother of all bad habits, but ultimately she is a mother and we should respect her.
Oh my god!
Correct.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Number 2, It's Demon Slayer. I
what
see.
the fuck is that? It's like the horse meme, but it turns into a dragon at the end.
Isn't that a Tobi Kadachi?
No, I don't think that is. I don't think that is. That looks too reptilian.
I don't know enough about Demon Slayer for this, but okay.
VTuber content. Zrugal after watching one VTuber video.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Have it all.
Yep.
Have it all, child.
Yep. No wrong.
Love
Good
you,
job,
Zrugal.
What?
Are you seriously going to try to get in a 7th meme?
Thaylien, did you try to add a 7th meme?
No, but I did do this to Virgil at one point. I snuck in a 7th meme as part of the viewer memes. Love you, Uncle Virgil.
Thank you, Virgil.
Oof.
All right. That's 2 user-created memes. I'm very proud of you guys. Well, I don't know if this was wholly user-created, but I mean, he added the text, so good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Right, on to my first meme. Her, I like gym guys. Me as fuck. Got every badge, baby.
Oh, brilliant.
Naive me not knowing what ecchi means and searching it up. Me discovering what ecchi means. Me now watching ecchi anime. It's totally
Oh my god.
Chat meme.
Shh. Yeah.
Number 3. Follow the plan. Rasengan!
Oh, Naruto. Yep.
Snake Away watching Dragon Ball Z in 99. Snake Away watching Dragon Ball Z Kai after watching hundreds of Naruto and thousands of One Piece episodes. So
Yeah. Yup.
Number 5. Hello, Marcel from Delicious in Dungeon. Hello, Miss Freeren from Freeren Beyond Journey's End. There you go. Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? Fuck. She loves the cute things.
It's the cat meme.
Fuck. Okay.
I want that cat. Guys literally only one thing, and it's fucking disgusting.
Awesome.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Just some head pats from a nice elf. All right, on to Thalien's first.
We shouldn't explain that to Nasuth. Let's keep going.
Nope, don't do it.
Every legend has its weakness.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Can you play that again?
Oh, is it
Yes, we
actually?
do that.
Oh, it is actually an animated one.
Oh, that should totally be. Yeah, brilliant. Awesome. Next.
Cookies. Show me the greatest anti-heroic ruler. I meant the greatest anti-heroic ruler. Got him for
God,
perfection.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
Ready, Sasuke and Sakura? Then where is that Naruto? For the last time, it's Nobara! I'm Megumi. I know. You all just remind me so much of my last team.
Oh my
I'm
god.
useless and you're not that pissed off.
Oh wow.
I love the Gojo Kakashi memes. They're some of my favorite.
Yep.
The densest materials on Earth: iridium, plutonium, the average slice of life harem NC. Maybe she didn't mean anything by it, and she was just being nice. Yeah, sure, we've been talking more recently, but a cute girl like her would never ask me on a date.
Yep.
Come to Dungeon Meshi. We have Urban Elf, doesn't really care about nature that much. Nature Dwarf cares a lot about the ecosystem and has no interest in blacksmithing. Halfling Rogue, who actually feels bad about stealing from someone else. And blonde generic human fighter, and yet the weirdest person in the group. And the healer, dead since episode 1.
Yep. It's a great reason to watch
And
it.
finally, the funniest.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Because if you look at his backpack,
Yeah.
at this point she knows.
Yeah. Oh my god. Thaylien.
Right, on to Xenos quickly.
Yep. Japan ranks Rem as the cutest anime girl of all time. I see no god up here. Other than me.
Okay.
It's
Makes sense.
There's
like,
a cat meme. There was a
yeah,
cat meme like that before.
You don't remember the cat meme? Oh, you suck.
Vaguely now, actually, yeah.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty hot, right? Yeah. She's 14. The whole FBI is going to jail. Well, well, well. How the turntables.
Oh, dear.
Yep.
Oh, this is the one you stole. I wanted this one, but Xeno got it first.
Yep. I choose you next, Watchdog Man. If you've read the manga. Wait, is it actually in season 2?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen Watchdog Man actually fighting.
No, this is One Punch Man, where
Garo takes on Watchdog Man and is utterly confused.
Yeah.
Right.
There's the shit beating the hell out of him.
There's something wrong with Watchdog Man, and I'm not sure what it is.
Yep.
Even to this day, reading the manga, it's not explained.
I mean, he is like really high up in S rank, so anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
It's making us so copyright struck. I love how deadpan they are the whole time, though.
Oh, my 90s brain is just kicking off right now. Oh my word.
You're welcome.
Oh.
And then my last one.
And your last one. All the fans everywhere.
Technically, this was like, I got this on Thursday, but yes, pretty much. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. That's it for the memes. That's it for the show. Next week, we'll be doing the end of season winter 2024.
It's been a pleasure having you all here.
Yep, and now it's time to... So, yes, the end of the show now. So thank you all for watching or listening. And now it's time to bottoms up and Kanpai.
Kanpai.